know what she said. She might just change your life.
You have been called one of the faces of the future by Maclean's magazine, and you are launching a brand new charity. And we're so excited to hear about that. So tell us about this charity.
I'm really happy to be here. It's meant to connect a group of people missing limbs in fact, who are accomplished, creative, and offer support within the group, but also global support and outreach. I guess that kind of sounds a little bit vague, but when I was injured at 21, I didn't really feel that there was anything there for me. It was kind of a conventional support group, and I didn't really want to go cry. And
Candace, tell us your story.
Sure, yeah. I got hurt when I was 21 at a paper mill. I was working as a summer student, and I stepped over an unguarded conveyor belt, and I ended up having my leg amputated as a result.
And then what?
Well, then I traveled a bit, and actually, before I started my speaking career, I went to Mexico, and lots of people say that they have these kind of aha moments, but I had an almost why me moment when I was traveling in Mexico. My prosthetic wasn't working properly. I had saved all this money to go on a trip for 3 months, and I got there, and after day 1, day 2, day 3, I couldn't walk. And after I'd gotten hurt, my attitude was more like, why does this happen to anyone? It was preventable. But I didn't want to go down that path of feeling sorry for myself. And on day 4, I was almost ready to lose my marbles and say, haven't I done enough? And I'm trying to be positive and move on. And I walked out, in fact, to a cerveza cart. And when I took...
Dos cervezas, por favor.
My boyfriend at the time says to me, what do you need me to do? And I said, just leave me alone. And I literally kicked him out by throwing my leg at him. I was so frustrated. But when I turned to the left...
You have a weapon attached to you at all times.
It's not polite to throw your limbs at people. There was this man sitting there, and I looked, and he had this great big beautiful smile with no teeth, and then I looked down and I saw that he had no limbs. And that was a moment where I thought, that's the kind of perspective we need, instead of shying away, as people who are struggling with absence, in their body. We need to be connected that way and gain perspective instead of feeling sorry for ourselves.
Okay, so why, this incident that happened to you when you were 21 at the paper mill, you say it was preventable. Do you think you share any of the responsibility? You said you stepped over something that was unprotected, or are you saying it was purely preventable by the company?
This is what I talk about on it professionally. I definitely take responsibility, but it was also preventable by the company. The guard was removed, which I didn't know there was ever a guard there, and I was taking examples from other people, where watching people who I thought knew what they were doing, walking over a belt, and then I went and did it. And, there was no early education at that point in time in high schools. There's a number of things when something like that happens, but at the end of the day, I take responsibility for my role.
Well, you're deemed the prophetess of safety.
I guess.
You've spoken to hundreds of thousands of people about this. This happened at 21. That's a big job, a big mission to take on at such a young age.
It was, absolutely. It started out really organically, just speaking in high schools to students who were close to my age when I got hurt. And then the message, even though I still typically get invited to speak about safety, is a lot of focus on gratitude and life lessons and things that I've learned along the way that have kind of gotten me to this point with the support and the confidence and the, perspective, I guess, to start something like Less is More.
Click the channel subscribe button for full-length interviews and more from What She Said here on YouTube.